Buddies, so before you watch this video, please understand that I am not against the Apache RR310. I personally respect TVS for what they have done, all the hard work they have put in making this kind of a motorcycle, and I respect everyone who owns this motorcycle. But understand, every review done by every person only points at the good things of this motorcycle, but there has to be someone who would also point at the not so good things, the not so great things of this motorcycle, correct? So that is the reason I did a critical review. This is not a general review, it is a critical review where I intentionally point towards the not so good things about this motorcycle. So remember, I'm not against this motorcycle. I love all motorcycles and hope this video helps you in your buying decision. Thank you. Do watch this video.
Buddies, so check out what I have with me today. I have the Apache RR310 and I'm actually going to be riding this bike for the first time. I still haven't ridden this motorcycle, and let me tell you, this motorcycle looks unbelievably good in real. Oh my god, I mean, check out the seat. Looks like 100% superbike seat. The front end and everything about this motorcycle, the clip-on bars, everything looks so beautiful. The tank is chiseled so well, sculpted so well. Wow. Enough said, let me get onto the motorcycle and let me give you all a perspective of what I feel about this machine and how it feels like riding this machine. Alright, so here we go. Turn the ignition key. I'm not a big fan of the display console here. The display console kind of looks a little weird, but that is the only thing which I would complain on this motorcycle when it comes to the looks, because in looks department this motorcycle is a clear winner. Okay, crank, sound check. Revs pretty well, very rev happy motorcycle. The clip-on bars are slightly higher than what they are on the RC, so it feels very comfortable riding this motorcycle. There are some level of vibrations that are creeping in through the handlebars and the tank. It's not too bad, but I expected the refinement to be much more than what I'm feeling right now. How are the brakes? I'm sure this motorcycle doesn't have the HH brake pads. It has the regular brake pads. So the brake bite, the initial bite of the brake is not as good as I would like it. It's very ordinary that way. I'm going over all the cons initially. Then after that, let me speak about the pros about this motorcycle. I've already spoken one big pro, that is the looks. Okay, let me overtake this truck. Downshift. What do I have on the left side? Let me take this. Very rev happy motorcycle. The vibration on my left side of the handlebar is a bit too much for my liking. I mean, it is kind of making my hand a bit numb. Now this is a real world review of this motorcycle. This is not a fancy review by a news channel of the Apache RR310. So I would be speaking about things which don't please me, or things which are not so good, which generally are not spoken by news channels or big review channels. See the brakes. The initial bite of the brakes is not good at all. It doesn't inspire any confidence. I gotta look up on the internet if we get any better brake pads for this motorcycle. If we can get HH grade brake pads, Sinter brake pads, that would be a big blessing, because currently the brake pads are not good at all. Okay, time for some acceleration. How is the flickability of this motorcycle? This would be interesting to check, because many people would be using this motorcycle for commute on a daily basis. So I'm able to flick this motorcycle through this traffic pretty well. Go through all the gaps. Very easy to do that. Very flickable motorcycle.
Also, another very important point to be noted is, if you are someone who would be spending most of your time in daily commuting, then the RR310 is a much better motorcycle to buy than the RC390, because the gearing on the RC390 is just too tall. So when the gearing is very tall, it is not good for daily commuting at slow speeds in day-to-day traffic. But the gearing on the RR310 is just perfect for slow speed riding. So this is a much better motorcycle to buy in case you would be commuting more.
Again, me coming from the RC390, when I'm riding this RR310, I do feel the lack of acceleration compared to the RC. I mean, if you don't compare to the RC, this motorcycle has got good acceleration. But if you compare the acceleration to the RC, this motorcycle is way down on the acceleration part. But again, they should not be compared. The RC390 and the RR310 should not be compared. They are completely different motorcycles altogether. Time to take a corner. I love this corner on the left side. Let me take it. Time to check some top speed runs. Nice sweeping left hand corner. This vibration on the left hand handlebar is bothering me. It is not good at all. Now, my viewers, people who are watching, please let me know, is this vibration only on this motorcycle, or all the RR310s have vibration on the left handlebar? Even the tank has some vibration, but it's not so bad. The brakes don't have good initial bite, but once you keep going, I mean, for example, now initial bite is not good, but once I press them harder, the brakes are kind of okay. The brakes are very progressive. Now, for example, check out the brake lever here. The moment I get onto the brakes, the initial bite is not so good, but once I keep pressing it hard, the progressive bite is much better. I'm dying to test the top speed of this motorcycle. I'm waiting for a good straight. The fairing on this motorcycle, the visor here is doing a good job. It is keeping the wind away from me. It's deflecting the wind pretty well. Top speed. Let me check the top speed now. Clutchless downshift, clutchless upshift. This motorcycle kind of slows down after 145 to 150 kilometers an hour. The acceleration is not so great after that. It is kind of reaching the end of its acceleration power after about 145 to 150 kilometers an hour. Let me check the top speed again. The numbers are slowly, very slowly going up after about 150 kilometers an hour. The brakes, God, the brakes gotta be better. They're not confidence inspiring at all. The ABS is kind of, it is good, it is nice. I'm not complaining too much, but I just felt right now that it was interfering a bit too early. The wheel was nowhere close to getting locked, but the ABS started to interfere on the front side. Now when I say ABS interference, what I mean by that is that you feel that the brake control is taken over from you by a machine and then it comes back. It kind of eases off and it comes back. So that is the feeling that you get when ABS interferes too early. I wish to do one final top speed run. Completely crouched down right now. I'm approaching 150 kilometers an hour. 157, 159. This motorcycle could not go past 160. I stayed on that 158, 159 for pretty long. Let me try one more time. No, I am not very happy with the top end of this motorcycle. The top end is kind of toolless because this motorcycle is taking forever even to touch 160 kilometers an hour.
And another feature that I just cannot believe that TVS missed out on this motorcycle is slipper clutch. Why couldn't they give slipper clutch in this motorcycle? Because many people are going to take this motorcycle to the racetrack, and a slipper clutch on a racetrack is an absolute must.
Now, I'm kind of disappointed. I'm really disappointed by this motorcycle. The vibrations are a bit too much. The brakes are not so good. ABS is kind of interfering a bit too much sometimes. The top end is not so great. Acceleration is decent. I don't like the display here. I don't like the display console here. It is really weird. The only thing which I like about this motorcycle are the looks. This motorcycle looks unbelievably good. One of the best looking motorcycles in this segment, or even in the next segment of 600cc class. But apart from the looks factor, I don't think I would buy this motorcycle. I would rather put in a little more money and buy the RC390 because I get way better brakes, much better top end acceleration, much better low end acceleration, better top speeds, and everything. Now, I'm just disappointed.